The Sony PlayStation wasn't the only console to begin its life in America with a ride down the fast lane, and the best advice is to follow what the game's title suggests: hang on. And thus begins Sega Masters. Welcome to the video series that showcases the games of the other 8-bit console in the US, the Sega Master System, which of course was Sega's original attempt to compete with Nintendo long before the Genesis. Despite its technical superiority to the NES, the Master System never got its due in America, and the reasons are well documented. From Sega's bad marketing to the uneven game quality to Nintendo's draconian policies and so forth. But the system still holds a soft spot in many gamers' hearts, plus it was far more successful in other parts of the world. We'll be looking at the titles Sega provided for their platform in North America, as well as the games released overseas in Europe and Brazil that we in the States missed out on, but can import and play on our systems here. Just like Nintendo did for its NES, Sega went with a familiar name to kick off their console in the States in the fall of 1986. In this case, it's a port of their popular arcade motorcycle racer from 1985, which was designed by Yu Suzuki, and was one of Sega's first coin-ups to use its superscalar technology for some cool 3D graphics in action. In fact, here's the original arcade version, which was pretty much pole position on 2 wheels, where you race your motorbike down a roadway, handling curves and dodging obstacles and other bikers, hopefully without crashing your ride in spectacular fashion. Some arcade goers even got to ride the deluxe arcade cabinet, made up like a real motorcycle chassis, and lets you make turns by actually leaning your body, simulating the real thing, if you will. With its success in the arcades, Hang On was one of the first games ported to the Master System. It was originally released as a standalone card in Japan, but for the American system launch, Hang On was paired on a combo cartridge with a light gun game, Safari Hunt, and used as a pack-in game for the console. Since Hang On was released separately at one point, we'll focus on this game in this episode and look at the B-side in the next episode. As you can see, the home version plays mostly the same as its coin-op parent, though quite a bit was sacrificed to bring the action to the home console. Just like the original, you're guiding your motorcycle down a stretch of highway containing 5 different types of scenery, trying to go as far as you can while racking up the points and racing the timer. As you navigate the twists and turns of the road, other motorbikers naturally try to impede your progress, so you have to weave around them while trying not to collide with them or the obstacles lining the shoulders. You may not get to control the action while on a motorcycle chassis, but the gamepad does a solid job of steering your bike down the curves, and shifting gears is no problem either. Reaching the checkpoints will extend your timer as well as send you to the next environment, in this case the seaside. Running into either the other bikers or the sideline obstacles will cause you to crash and explode. But despite the big bang, you magically reappear back on your bike unharmed, though you will lose precious seconds trying to get back in the race. Obviously the game ends if the timer expires before you reach the finish line. Now we've moved into the desert mesa, which is followed by a night city scene and some orange sherbet themed finale. The visuals are a far cry from the coin-op, but the game still looks bright and colorful, while the 3D scrolling and effects are pretty smooth and give you a nice sense of speed nonetheless. The game certainly showed what the Master System could do and trumped what the NES had at the time. However, none of the billboards from the arcade made the cut, leaving the scenery looking rather barren. The cool level music from the coin-op is also missing, leaving the sounds of your bike engine and the other bikers zooming past you as your only background noise. However, Hang On shares the main issue of most 1980s arcade ports. repetitiveness eventually sets in, since the action never really changes, just the scenery. Also, if you manage to complete the course by reaching the finish line, the game just starts over with the same course and environments, only at a harder difficulty with more aggressive bikers. Thus, after just one 10-minute playthrough, you've seen all this game brings to the table. So while Hang On is quite a step down from the arcade experience, it's still relatively well produced for what it is, and provides a nice little diversion for a few quick sessions here and there. However, the arrival of Super Mario Bros. Would slowly change the video game industry in the late 1980s, and therefore consoles wouldn't be able to survive on simple arcade ports long term. Hang On is fun for a time, but doesn't offer the long-lasting experience that Super Mario Bros. Contained. You can see how right from the beginning Sega was behind the 8 ball.